Now, as Black History Month wraps up, can you believe February just flew
No.
by?
No. It is the last day.
Okay, anyway, so we're wrapping it up. We take a look at WVON 1690 AM radio. Now, the station turns 50 this year. WVON was the first African-American radio station in the city, and all the city's great radio, well, the radio greats like Herb Kent, Don Cornelius, they were all on-air personalities there.
And now, serving as Chicago's first black talk radio format, WVON tackles everything from political to social issues. Our Summer Jackson chats with the station's president, Melody Span Cooper, about WVON's rich history. And that's today's Uniquely Chicago.
And while I was not born when VON went on the air, my dad was one of the first disc jockeys hired here. So the station went on the air April 1st, 1963. It was the brainchild of Leonard and Phil Chess, Polish immigrants who come to Chicago and made a fortune at Chess Records, producing people like Muddy Waters, Lou Howland Wolf, Etta James. They were enterprising enough to want to own a radio station. But Summer, the reason they wanted the radio station was they only wanted to play their music. And the FCC kind of spanked them on the hand and said, "You're not going to do that." Radio station is supposed to serve the community. And they set about putting together a station that did just that at the right time. Think about it, 1963, we're in this rose of the civil rights era. African Americans are bustling at the seams in Chicago. So they were smart enough to know that if they got one radio station and put all of the top talent that were at all these other stations on one station, they'd have a hit. And they did that. And VON from 1963 to the mid-70s was the #1 radio station in Chicago. If you fast forward to the 70s, when the station began to change because FM became popular. And many of them went off into their own things. My dad and Wesley South, who was also on VON, they formed a company and bought the station. How many stations can say they were the bully pulpit for Martin Luther King and the voice of a very young Barack Obama when he first started here?
This hall says it all. The prominent African Americans featured on these walls helped to pave the way for WVON.
Any way we can educate people about us first, and then everybody else and how they relate, it does a service.
And for it to be called the voice of the Negro, imagine that. And 50 years later, to still have that in your mission statement, to still be the voice of this vibrant part of this city is incredible. What does the next 50 years look like? I don't know. What does the next 50 years for Black America look like? We're going to continue to tell the story.
That's really cool,
Yeah.
especially because we both started in radio. We're radio geeks. And
I don't know, I don't remember hearing, but you know WVON stands for Voice of the Negro.
You're kidding.
That's what
That
it was
I never
called
knew.
originally, yeah.
And
Oh, she did say it? Okay, because I was so busy looking at the pictures, I didn't
we
hear
were
everything.
Chit-chatting, and I was trying to
Yes.
figure out if Clear Channel has a part in owning them now.
No, it was
or
like
not.
they
I
did
can't
some
remember what
sort
happened.
of thing with gospel radio, remember?
I know.
Back in the day, and
It's really hard to keep track now,
it
isn't
is.
it?
It really is. It really is.
Even when I would go to work, I'm like, wait, who owns? I don't remember who owns this.
just look, and then
right.
and you look at your check, and it's not always the same. Yeah, person
Radio's
signing
changed.
it.
Yeah.
For more information about WVON 1690 AM, go to their website. It is right there on your screen, WVON.com.